You can start. Yeah.
Okay. Dear chess friends, I prepare for today Sicilian Tajmanov is main line. Now is interesting F4 move. Idea is simple. After knight F6, white can play E5, and this is much better for white. After F4, black can play, for example, A6. Also possible is knight takes D4, queen takes D4, A6, planning B5, bishop B3. This position is unclear. Okay, let's see, because always, most of the times, black play A6. Now is interesting, knight takes C6. What can black do? Black can take with queen, B takes C6, also D takes C6. D takes C6, black don't play often. Now is strong move, queen G4, queen G4. And for example, knight F6, queen G3. Because now impossible is bishop B4 because white just take queen takes G7. Okay, most of the times black play B takes C6, bishop D3, D5, castle, knight F6. For example, queen E2. Idea is bishop D2 and rook E1. Bishop E7, bishop D2. Also possible is E5, knight E7, knight A4. Now is strong move C5. Idea is simple, C4 and take the bishop. Also this position should be better for white. But white played the game bishop D2. Idea is rook E1 and play E5, F5 and attack. G6, king H1, castle, rook E1. And this position is better for white because pawn on C6 is very weak. For example, B3, A5. White is much better, but question is how win this game. Now white play bishop C3. Black took on C3 because after bishop E7, white can play, for example, queen H3. Idea is queen H6. Should be much better for white. For example, C5, queen H6, threatening mate. This is winning because rook H3. Now white can play even with the take with king because it's mate. Okay, black change on C3. Rook FD8. Hey, for this pawn is weak, for example. C5 is impossible because white just take on C5. Threatening mate, but should be okay for white. Queen E3. Black play queen B6. rook d1, rook c8. Okay, black have some chances for draw, but it's much better for white. c5, queen f6. This is winning. Because it's impossible to take because rook d8 mate. Black play queen c7, c3. Always is black cannot take because rook d8 and white will win the queen. So this is winning. Okay, let's see another game. Bishop d3, d5, castle, knight f6, queen e2. Bishop e7, bishop d2, castle, rook a1. Same plan like game before, rook e8. King h1, g6. Question is what to do now for white. White played b3. But also possible was e5 and play this position. Bishop f8, rook f3. This is unclear. Okay, why just play b3? Black play bishop f8. And this position, now I play very strong move h4. Idea is h5 and attack. Black play knight c5. For example, black can play h5, but now will white continue attack with rook g1. Idea is g4. Queen d8. Pawn is hanging on h4. But white has simple move. Queen f2. f5. In this position is much better for white, almost winning, because pawn on g6 is hanging. Knight f8. I think white can play queen g2. Pawn is hanging on g6. e5 is nothing because white just take. This position should be winning. Now he's threatening mate, queen h7. And I think no defense for black. Bishop f5, white just take. And he's winning. Or bishop takes f5. Or rook f5. So white play h4, black play knight c5. h5. Knight takes d3. White took with c takes d3. And symbol was rook takes d3, but c takes d3 is stronger because idea is knight a4 and rook c1. Because c5 square will be weak. Yes, knight a4 and rook c1. This is idea. And also queen g4, queen h4 and attack on h7. Rook ac8, rook c1, queen e7. White play bishop e3. Possible was also queen g4. But this will happen. Bishop f2. And now is idea bishop h4, bishop f6, queen g4 and attack. Rook c7, bishop h4, queen c7, queen g4, f5. After f5, white is almost winning, but question is what can black do, because it's impossible c4 because white just take. This should be winning because rook d8 is impossible. And this pawn on d4 will be very weak. What can black do? Bishop c6 don't work because knight takes c5. This also should be winning. It's hard to find a plan for black. Black play f5, queen g5. Also possible was take. And take on g6 should be winning also. I can just take and take on c5 and should be winning. And rook g5, knight c5. Okay, let's see the game. Black took on h5, rook g3, king h8, queen takes h5. Now white is Panaben is winning. And strong move knight b6 and put knight on d6. And change bishops and should be winning. Bishop b6, yes, and taking pawn on d4 is winning position. Or even rook d8, bishop d8, but black can resign immediately. Resign. Okay, let's see another game. Again, this position, f4, a6. Black took with the queen. Question is what to do. What to do for white. Because black is planning b5 and b4. Bishop d3, b5, queen e2. Bishop b7. Bishop d2. Now black play bishop b7. For example, after knight f6, e5, knight d5, take. Rook g1 because g4 is impossible because black just take the rook. And g2 is hanging. Even castle is possible, but I think rook g1 is better. This is also unclear. Maybe better for white. Now it's trade rook h5. Better for white. Okay, the game happened. Bishop b7, a3. For example, after b4, white has strong move knight d5. Because black cannot take on d5 because white will take on d5 and we check and queen is hanging, so white will win, the queen is winning. So black play bishop b7, a3, rook c8, castle, knight f6, e5, knight d5. What to do now? White play strong move, knight e4. For example, knight takes d5, queen takes d5. This also should be better for white. Or the rook takes, threatening e6. Because castle is impossible, f6, and should be bad for black. I think rook f3, rook h3, and queen g4, queen h4 is winning, I think. But white played knight e4. Idea is a4 sometimes and f5, of course. Black play f5. What to do for white? White took on f6 and knight g5. Strong move because after knight has f6, black will take with the bishop, and now it's impossible to take on g6 because rook is protected with bishop. So this is the reason why white play knight g5. Castle, king h1, bishop c5, rook a1. Idea is rook f3 and rook h3. Bishop d4, bishop b2 is hanging, bishop c1, rook e8, c3, bishop a7, queen c2. Now h7 is hanging. What to do? After g6, I will play rook f3 and thread this bishop takes g6. Should be winning. Black play h6, knight f3, d6. Bishop g6, strong move. Because rook cannot go, for example, on d8 bishop because pawn on e6 is hanging. So white will have to play rook e7, and now white find a very strong move, knight h4. Idea is bishop d3 and knight g6 because both rooks will be hanging. Black play e5, bishop f5, threatening knight g6, rook e8, knight g6 again. Black play x takes f4, for example, rook f7. I just take on e5, and now rook and queen is hanging, should be winning position. Or maybe this rook, but also knight g6 and take on e5 should be winning with the knight. But the game happened knight g6, he takes f4, and now white found very strong move, rook e7. Idea is bishop e6. Example, bishop b6 is bishop b6 check. Funny mate. What can black do after rook e7? Black resign because, for example, bishop c8. I don't have bishop e6 check, but simple take on a7 and is winning. Take the rook. Okay, let's see another game. Knight c6, knight c3, queen c7, f4. Again, queen takes c6. Bishop d3, b5, queen e2, bishop b7. Bishop d2. Now black play bishop c5. Idea is knight d7 and castle. Now black play knight d7. For example, b4 is knight d5. This is impossible because queen is hanging. After a5, maybe rook f1, plan is f5. Okay, castle, knight e7, a3, long castle. Usually black play small castle. Rook f1, f5, because white want f5. Black play f5. And this position also should be better for white. Okay, let's see the game. Black play long castle. Question is what to do. White play king b1 is always useful move for white. d5, rook a, h, d, e1, rook d7. Now I play simple move, but strong move. E takes d5. Black play knight takes d5. For example, e takes d5 should be better for white because I think queen g4, attacking g7, and after g6, I think f5 should be better for white. Because pawn on d5 is big. This is impossible. Check and take the rook. Black took with the knight. f5 again. Attacking e6. Rook e8. White plays strong move. Knight takes d5. Queen takes d5. Bishop a5. Bishop d4. Queen f1. Black play queen, bishop c6. Possible was queen takes g2. I think white should play bishop f takes e6. Rook takes e6 is impossible because white will take rook on e6. This is mate. But black can play rook takes e6. Bishop pawn takes e6, but white can take again on e6 because is also mate. It would be much better for white. This is the reason why black didn't take on g2. Black played bishop c6. White took on e6 and played bishop e4. It's much better for white because black king is weak. Take, and bishop e6, and now black can resign because after bishop takes b6, this rook takes d5 and is winning. Black play e5 and now white plays strong move. Rook takes d4. Rook takes d4. This is winning. So this is reason why black resigned. Okay, let's see another game. Let's go in game Nepomniachtchi with Hugo. f4, a6, knight takes c6, queen takes c6. Bishop d3, b5, queen e2, bishop b7. Bishop d2, bishop c5, castle, knight d7. What to do for white? Black already played knight d7 and threatening b4. So I play a3, castle, queen h5. Idea is f5 in attack. Also rook f1, rook f3, and rook h3. f6, g4, rook ac8, rook h e1, queen b6. King b1. Black play bishop d4. Of course, after b4, white have knight a4 move. And this is better for white because bishop b4 and rook takes c5. I think white can play bishop, queen h3 because b4 is hanging. So b4 is impossible. Black played bishop d4. Knight e2, bishop f2, rook is hanging, rook f1, rook f7. Of course, it's not easy attack for white. White play queen g2. Idea is queen f3 and h4, h5 attack. Bishop c1, bishop c5, e5. What can black do? Black play b4. For example, f takes e5. White will play, I think, f takes e5. Rook f1, knight f4, because bishop takes f4, and it should be much better for white because h7 is hanging. Think check. Check. Mate. Funny mate. Okay. White play e5. Black play b4. A takes b4. Bishop takes b4. f5. Black play knight f8. He takes f6, g6. Bishop d3. Rook takes f6. b3. Take. White is much better. Question is how to win this game. Bishop b2, threatening bishop takes g6. And after h takes g6, queen mate, queen h8 mate. Still, pawn is hanging on g6. Bishop c6. White play bishop c4. Bishop g6 is not winning immediately because black king will run away. King e7. King d8 is impossible because queen takes e6. Rook is on d1, so. But white plays strong move. Bishop c4. Bishop b5. Knight d4. Knight is hanging. And this position should be winning because after knight g5, rook is hanging and black king is very weak. Bishop e2, queen g2, strong move. Because bishop takes d1 is impossible. Check. And mate. Black play rook e8, but after queen d5, black resigned because king f8 is check and mate. Question is why should you learn this line? I think Paulus and Tajmanov playing a lot of players, and f4 is interesting move, and you will know what to do against queen c7. After f4, black can play, for example, d6, not a6. a6 is most of the players play a6. Now it's interesting this position. Bishop b3, a6, queen f3, and long castle. This should be okay for white. This is, I think, queen takes c6. Most of the players will play, and this position is unclear. Bishop c5, castle, knight d7. But it's playable for white. Okay, thank you for watching this video. We will meet again. Bye.